Fantastic. As for Hurts, clearly, they don't want anything to do with running the ball. It's now the third straight game that the Philadelphia Eagles have not rushed for 100 yards. 3 straight games. It's either the injury or they're formulating something different. That's the topic. We're going to get to it here in a minute. Eagles in the red zone with Swift convert 80%, Gainwell 30%. Outside the red zone, Gainwell has also been responsible for killing important drives. Hey, by the way, as much as I like Suapeta from that Aaron Donald game, that right guard position has been suspect at best, and it is reared its head. The Isaac Seumalo not being in there is being felt. It's being felt in that old line. It's not as dominant as it was a year ago. Now, is that by fundamental changes in the philosophy? Is that a coordinator now in the organization trying to do something completely different? I'm telling you, that's why the turnovers are up. As for Hurts, he continues to evolve in front of your eyes. The games are going to be closer because this is why you're evolving your passing game on the fly. You're changing your identity right on the fly in front of everyone. You're trying to not be a dominant team anymore or a physical team. You're trying to be a finesse team. But where you get away with that is that you have power players and you have impact players like AJ. AJ is a physical player. Jalen Hurts is a physical player. But you're playing finesse ball. That's why the high turnovers. Again, you can't hide from 11 turnovers in 8 games. I don't care what you say. And critical turnovers by the unit itself. You can't. Now, again, the reason we're talking and the reason we're explaining the game to you like this is because many of you throw out the 23-2. But for you to validate that 23-2 and 7-1 start, you got to win a Super Bowl. Or you'll go down like the Golden State Warriors, or you'll go down like the 17-1 New England Patriots. Hollow wins. Eventually, you got to validate this. You just can't keep 24-2. Right now, it's a nice journey, but you haven't validated it. There's nothing to validate it with. You're not in this for participation medals. That's why we're talking and looking at giving you the exact truth of what we saw yesterday. 24-2. It means nothing to what Kansas City's done. And you guys will go like this. Look at Kansas City dropping that game against the Broncos. And you would assume you think you're better than them. Well, we'll find that out soon. We'll find that out. You were the better team last year and they beat you. 2 years in a row, actually. Well, eventually you have to validate these wins with something. Can't just be NFC championships. Validate it. You love the winning. But you love the winning more than winning championships? Validate it. You go down as one of the best teams in the NFC in the last. If you win a Super Bowl this year, what you've done the last 2 years, you'll validate that run. You'll have a better football team than what happened even in 17. Because you know why? What's the one thing the 17 team couldn't do? The 17 team couldn't do what? They couldn't keep consistency going. This team has a chance to validate itself going, okay, we slipped up in the Super Bowl the year previous, we came back and won it. Something else I talked about, when Juergens was in, we averaged 6 yards a carry. That's right, Warrior. That's right. Let's look now at the numbers. Washington pretty much had their way with the Eagles. And some will go, well, we're missing guys. So is San Francisco. So if you apply that to your own credibility and what you did in the game. I happen to agree with you. Not having Jalen Carter out there? Absolutely. Hey, by the way, Remember when I told you who the MVP of your football team was, and I said Jalen Carter makes everything look better, and he impacts everybody out there? How's he look when he's not out there? How's that defense look when Jalen Carter's not in the middle of that defense? How's it look? How does it look when he's not there? That guy impacts the entire unit. 38-31, Eagles, always. And this is kudos to you guys. Always find a way to win games where other teams cannot. It's a true testament to your character. It really is. It's a testament to the quarterback, to the character. Tremendous. Tremendous. You do not trip. The Jets game, okay. To me, it's a, you want to hear me say something that I never say? The Jets game is a fluke, in my opinion. Because that's not what Philly does. That Jets game, remember I said this at the beginning of the year, you're probably going to lose a couple games. You shouldn't. And it's just going to be that way. Kind of like Kansas City. Like last year, they lost to the Colts. They have a stinker every year. So did New England during the Brady time. You don't hold it against teams like that just know how to win. Hey, 4 turnovers? That's a you thing, dude. That's a you thing. That's not a Jets issue. That's a you issue. Total yards, 472 to 374. Commanders. Passing yards, because of the sacks, 388, 315. Numbers look different. Total plays, Commanders, once again, second game in a row. More plays than the Eagles. Held them to 62 plays. 2 turnovers. Time of possession. Every single time the Washington Commanders play the Philadelphia Eagles, they pretty much win. Almost every single statistic except the scoreboard because of your quarterback. Out 59 yards rushing for the Philadelphia Eagles. You don't have a running back. And you know why you don't have a running back? When your quarterback is injured, your running back is injured. It takes your dual threat away. Hurts, 29 of 38, 319, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 135-7. Outstanding. How? 39-52, 397, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 114 rating. Insane. Kevin Byard will have a secondary playing better. I agree with you, Prince. I think that was a pretty tough situation to put him in on 3 days' notice of coming over and being traded from Tennessee to Philadelphia, and you drop him in a starting role. That's pretty – actually, I got to tell you, I think that's impressive. Okay? You don't know anything about the formula. You don't know anything about the system, and you started? Shit. Good for you, man. He's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. I mean, he is. Don't care if Dallas beats us. They choke elsewhere. 88. I want that Dallas game. I'll tell you why in a minute. I want that Dallas game. I don't give a shit about the Kansas City game. I don't really care about the Bills game. I want the Cowboy game. I want to put those guys to sleep. I want to put them in a chokehold. And I want to squeeze them out. I don't care about Kansas City. I don't care about those other games on the schedule. I want to choke Dallas out. I want to put them in a Habib chokehold and choke that guy out till he taps. I want Dallas to tap out Sunday. I want to choke them out. I don't know. If I lose to Kansas City, I'm not in my conference. I don't give a shit. The Eagles now are the lead dogs in the race for home field again. Amazing. Look at the lead they have. Choke these teams out now. Choke them out. Choke them out. Dallas. You can choke Dallas out. They're cowards. They talk. If San Francisco can choke them out, you can too. Choke them out. Turn around, lose. I promise you. I swear I'll bury the lead now. You lose Kansas City, I don't care, as long as you beat the shit out of Dallas. And San Francisco. Okay? Choke them out. Take them out. You have a chance to get what they're saying about CD, what is his name? CD Lamb. They're talking about him being like a dominant wideout. And I'm like, you're missing the guy in Philly. But because Philly doesn't have the star power, so to speak, you're talking like 158 yards. You're not watching the best guy on the planet right now because he drags bodies with him to the cemetery. Hurts is the sixth player in NFL history with 300-plus total yards and 2 TDs in 6 consecutive games, joining Luck, Breeze, Rodgers, Mahomes, and Young. Exceptional. Exceptional. Exceptional class to be in. DeAndre Swift, I like these carries here, 16, 57, and 1. AJ, 8 catches, 132. One of them was just spectacular. Devontae got going, 7 of 99, 1. Ryan Robinson, 5.9 yards a carry. Dotson, 8, 108. The tight end got going because he was all over Dean. Exceptional. Game balls. Choke those Cowboys out. Choke them out, man. Guys, you have an opportunity this week to make an enormous statement in the league and with the media in the league. Beating the Jets, beating the Dolphins, great. Beating the Cowboys and knocking them into backseat status again and putting them at the back of the bus is what you want to do again. Make Dallas sit in the back of the bus. I ain't moving. You sit back in the rear with the gear, dog. All the lead dogs are up front. When you're on a sled and you're in the Iditarod, they don't put the weak dog up front. They put the weak dog in the back. They put the head dog up front. And be the head dog. I want to be the head dog. That's the most impressive thing about Sunday for me with the Eagles was they just refused to lose. That's a character thing that you have inside you, man, that you're just not going to lose. It's a Michael Jordan factor. That's right, Chris. It's fucking time. Take them out. Michael, thank you. Take them out, man. God dang it. You got Dallas right now wondering, you know what they're doing? So who they beat? They beat the Rams. The Eagles weren't even playing well that game. They kind of did. And Dallas is crowing about beating the Rams and the shitty Chargers. And guess what? You're like, they're going to go, well, look at the Commanders. The Commanders have good coaches. There's a reason Eric Bieniemy and Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera, you can think whatever you want about them, they've all had success in the league. But the thing I take away from them, I walk away from that Commander game doing this. Man, you got Dallas this weekend. This is the greatest time right now for you just to kick that dog all over that freaking stadium and beat that dog down so bad that that dog will never come back to that doghouse ever again the same. You got to take them out and kill that thing. Just take them out. They talk too much. It's too much bullshit. It's not real. What you saw in FedEx was real. Hard-fought football game. Quarterback not playing his best because he's injured. They're changing the offense around a little bit on him. You don't really have a running game going, but you're still winning. You don't drop turds. If you lose a game, you lose a game. When Dallas loses a game, they get stomped. Dallas are frauds. That's a fraud football team. Micah Parsons is a fraud. I mean, if I had a guy on my football team talking about another team being the best in the league, I'd start a fight with him. That's not a guy I want to go to battle with. Tone says the Commanders are a quarterback away. I truly believe that. Damn, Tone, that guy threw for 400 yards. I mean, I actually like Sam Howell's toughness. Sat in the pocket, took some hits. I don't know. Maybe if you got the guy a better O-line. Why, when I look at him, I see Brock Purdy almost. You think if you put Sam Howell on the 49ers, when you get the same result Brock Purdy give you? I'd like to see a little better O-line around him. People in there going like this, the Eagles secondary's ass. They're still 7-1. No matter what I say here right now, no matter the criticism I give or the evaluation that I give, they're 7-1, and they don't drop games. They don't go on 3-game losing streaks. They don't get beat by 30. They're the only team in the league. You don't go to Denver and make the excuse up that my quarterback had like the sniffles. Patrick Mahomes had the sniffles. That's the excuse you're going to use for having Denver have really no offense and beat you. Well, that's a lame-ass excuse. Well, let me get this right. Travis Kelce didn't have his squeeze box, and that's another reason they didn't play well. It's dumb. Don't talk to me about a guy with the sniffles. Guy had the sniffles. He didn't play well in Denver. What do you think, this is baseball? Jesus, man. Patrick Mahomes had the sniffles. Whatever. She says, why are you pandering to... I'm not pandering to Eagle fans. Dallas has a secondary, big physical corners. Shooter thinks I pander to Eagle fans. Shooter, you're not in here very much then. Look at this guy in here telling me now I'm pandering to Eagle. Hey, Eagle fans. Eagle fans, do I pander to you? Do I pander to you? Do I come on here on a daily basis and pander to you? Like WYP or the other things. Do I pander Eagle fans? Pandering? I know, Shooter. Hey, that's one thing you never do. I wish you did more, actually. That's why when you make a statement like this now, Tone, it's more emphatic. Hurts was sick against Tampa and we won. Q, I don't give a shit about guys with sniffles. Well, he was sick. So what? Go to a doctor. Get out there and play. If your legs aren't broken, get out there and play, Deshaun. Yeah, probably something wrong with Deshaun Watson's hymen next. I mean, my God almighty, that guy will come up with any excuse not to play. Kobe played with the flu and dropped 50. Mahomes gets the flu and can't beat that trash Denver team. If you play, I don't care what someone is dealing with. You're out there, go ball. Absolutely, man. There's no excuses in football. Baseball is a cowardly sport, and the flopping in basketball, I hate it. Soccer, same thing. I can't watch that kind of shit. I agree. Just adding to your point. Thank you, Q. Yo, Big Seals, you got me fired up. I'm ready to run through walls. Take out Dallas. Davis and Carter are keys to the defense. Both missed. Absolutely. 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 You've got a chance to make a statement against the Dallas Cowboys. Choke them out. End Dak's career in Dallas. Get Mike McCarthy fired. Set that franchise back. You're 7-1. And you act like it. Dallas beats the Chargers and the Rams. Get this. So Dallas has beat the Chargers and the Rams. And both New York teams. Two of the shittiest teams on the planet. Jets aren't playing awful. But they're crowing over those two new. That's why they look at Dallas now. And Dallas is now starting to get a little more loved by the national media because they played in New York twice and played in Los Angeles twice. Cowboys are frauds. Frauds. No other way to look at it. Get this. You come off a game like that against Washington and you got New York, or you got Dallas on Sunday. Dallas is going to get their faces kicked in. I can't wait to see them run. You know what I wish I could do? I wish everywhere that Micah Parsons lined up, I wish to God Almighty I could just take Lane and move him to guard, center, tackle, just to run his fucking mouth over. Just run him over. Pandering? I don't pander to anybody, dog. I'm sick of the Cowboys talk. Was I disappointed in the Commander game? No. No. No, I wasn't. Was I disappointed in the way they ran the ball? You don't have a red zone back. You really don't have a running back if your quarterback's hurt. No, you're dealing with injuries. Do you think there's any coincidence that the knee on your quarterback has affected your running game? No, because guess what? Hey, and by the way, Jalen still had a back-breaking 3rd and long that he broke into the open to get a first down. And broke the Commander's back. I was like, damn, that guy. My takeaways. Fought. Won. Hardcore NFC East style game. That was a throwback. Washington was desperate. They were playing with desperation. They were coaching with desperation. Guys' coaching jobs are on the line as well as guys' careers in Washington. That was an all-in game for Washington. They had to do that. See, Philadelphia gets everybody Super Bowl, especially when you're under 500. Do you understand that Washington will go into the offseason? You know what they'll do? They'll hang their hat on their efforts against the Philadelphia Eagles. Not against Dallas. Not against anyone else. You know why? Because in the NFC right now, the Eagles are the gold standard. Here's the topic now. I kind of broached this with Tone. Desperate teams are dangerous. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink at and the baby's bathwater at the Eagles. Totally did, man. But don't they always? Some go like this. Are you giving excuses up? Or what's the thing? pandering. That's how you that's how you win Super Bowls. When everything's not perfect, when nobody's healthy, and you still win. That's what this is really about. That win against the Commanders, to me, is almost more impressive than the win against the Dolphins. Mast, I hate that love affair they have with Kenny Gainwell. I hate it. I'm more impressed with the win over the Commanders than I am with the win over the Dolphins. Here's why. You didn't have total health. You had a new guy in the secondary. Your quarterback is more injured in the wheels than we think. And you won a game in the NFC East and in the NFC that matters more for home field advantage. That's why that game mattered more. Jerry Jones, hey, can you put that super chat up? I want to make sure I get it. That's right, Scott. It was a game of adversity. Jerry Jones betting the farm on this game, just like Deadskins. I would love Eagles to destroy them the next time at the link. Take them out. Choke them out. I can't be any more emphatic than that. You have a chance to choke that Cowboy team out. Kick them, gouge their eyes out, take their quarterback out, do whatever it takes to put a statement on them. You'll set that franchise. Let me tell you what, you'll do more damage to the Cowboys if you crush them than anything the 49ers or the Cardinals did. And it'll set that franchise back. They'll clean house. They will clean house. Look at this, Mr. International. Or no, excuse me, Matthew. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You have nothing to hold your hat on this year that makes you think you're a physical football team. Nothing. You know what you are? You're baby's milk. And the Eagles are whiskey. You're actually breast milk. The Eagles are whiskey. I love that win. Was it pretty? No. Were there things in the game that have to be addressed? You don't think they know that? I know many of you thought I was probably going to go all in on the defense. I'm still going to point out things. Dean's a liability. Blankenship was terrible. The corners suck. Wouldn't be any doubt if Howie goes out and gets a back in a corner, makes a deal somewhere. Your linebackers were okay, but they did exactly what Tone and I said they shouldn't do. They started moving Dean in to get reps, and he doesn't belong in there. Jacoby Dean does not belong on 3rd and long or passing downs. He does not, which means he doesn't belong on the field 70% of the time. Why are you doing this? You're jamming a player into a defense that does not have the right or should be on the field. He should not, and he shouldn't be on the field just because he's a molecular engineer and he went to Georgia and you drafted him in the 3rd round and you want to pretend that he's a steal of the draft. He's a liability. Okay? He is an absolute and when you don't have Jalen Carter and you don't have guys that are completely healthy like Jordan Davis, he gets exposed. The Cowboys have no wins that I respect. They blow out weak teams and pretend that they are such a force. True. The moment they ran into a real team, they got smoked. The Cowboys are front running frauds with no scars. Scars build character, and the Cowboys don't have character. That's why the Cowboys haven't won in 30 years. Toughness builds characters. Wins like the Commanders build character. When you're down against it, you're down again. You don't have your full lot of players. Okay? Look at the 49ers, man. They got to figure that out. So here's the difference, though. The 49ers, I'm not so sure they're 100%. Because you know what some of the players probably in the locker room are doing? Man, maybe Purdy is the pumpkin. They're not going to say that about Hurts. The thing you have over the 49ers is clearly in the quarterback. It was on display this weekend. It's clearly on display. The quarterback gives you certainty and confidence. In San Francisco, I think they're 80% in on him. 43 points against the Rams. Great. I don't care if they beat them 73-10. What's that mean when you play the Eagles? That's like being in a prize fight and you fight some potato can or tomato can and you fight Spider Rico. And then you got to get in and you got to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali didn't fight Spider Ricos. This guy fought George Foreman. This guy fought Ken Norton. This guy fought Joe Frazier. This guy fought everybody in consecutive. Liston, Patterson, everybody. They were weekly and monthly fights like that. He didn't fight Spider Rico. The Cowboys fight Spider Rico every weekend and call it a win. Hey, that super chat tone, can you please? I missed it. I want to make sure everyone gets their value today, especially Giants. Leonard Williams traded to Seahawks. Wow. If that is confirmed, I would be shocked if Saquon Barkley is still on the team come on Tuesday at 4. He's their best player, Williams. Okay? Oh, my God. So now the Giants have put up the white flag. Seattle just got, you know what's funny? Usually I do a top 10 list of NFL teams tomorrow, but I put, wow, that is really wild. Questions. Why has Gainwell regressed? He was playoff Kenny last year. Is he injured too? Where's Penny? 88, I would say this, the injury to Jalen Hurts. I don't fear Kenny Gainwell. I just don't fear Kenny Gainwell. He doesn't frighten me. Dean was horrible. Pursuit angles, coverage was horrible. Decent at filling gaps. True. But so are Pop Warner players. He was terrible. Somebody had someone had the balls actually to go, he made 11 tackles. I'm like, no. The reason he made 11 tackles, because the Washington Commanders targeted him almost every play in the pass game. Whether a tight end, back out of the backfield, receiver running a slant across the middle, he couldn't cover anything. I mean, it was so evident they were going right at – Dak will throw for 500 yards if they play him. That game will come down. That's why, get this, the point spread's only 2 points. That thing will probably be a pick 'em. And I hate that. Dude, get this. Tone just said it. Cunningham and Morrow outplayed him. Why in the world would you give him reps? It's because your general manager has control of the roster, not the coaching staff. No coach in his right mind puts players in position to fail. That's putting players in positions to fail. It's another reason why you run close games. Howie's influence. Like I said, Howie can get you to Super Bowl, but can you win it? The reason you won it was because Doug fought back. You don't have a head coach who will fight back. 11 tackles means 11 misses. You didn't block. Here. Someone goes like this. 11 tackles. Yeah, you gave up almost 500 yards of total offense. How's that a good day? I had 11 tackles. You gave up 500 yards and 31 points. You think you had a good day? That's not a good day. A good day is like 14 tackles and you give up 250 yards of total offense. That's a great day. Hey, I gave up 500 yards at 31 points and had 11 tackles. What do you want me to say? Good day? Oh, I played well, but everyone else sucked? I know our pass defense is suspect, but I've never seen them look that bad. I wonder why that is. Who is missing? Who is missing? Help me out. Who is missing? What's the guy's name? Who is missing? Carter and Davis. Funny, when those two guys are on the field, those guys have picnics in the opposing team's backfield. You take those two guys out, you're just kind of a decent defense. By the way, kudos to Hassan Reddick. I've never seen a guy in my life. You know who your closer is? This guy's Jonathan Papelbon. Okay, honestly, he's Mariano Rivera. This guy puts a period at the end of every single novel. Bang. Bang. Couldn't have been more wrong about a guy. Boom. Exclamation point. Now, I'll take that back. It's not a period. It's an exclamation point. Bam. I've never seen a guy close games out like that in the NFL. Just completely close them out. Boom. He is a closer. I've never seen a guy make more fourth quarter sacks in my life in critical situations to end any hopes of teams' chances of coming back and beating you. Game balls. Then I'm going to get to the topics. A.J. Brown is on a historical run. I'm going to ask you one more time this question. Would you really take Terrell Owens over A.J.? Do you really think Terrell Owens is having the same impact back in 2004 that A.J. is having right now? Big Sills, what I respect about you is that you always admit when you're wrong about a guy. Absolutely, man. That's about what this is. AJ Scott, not only does he catch everything, he knocks people out. Bill signed Leonard Fournette. That's a great sign for them. Hey, oh, by the way, I got a little bit of insight. I don't know how serious this is. I think the Philadelphia Eagles have contacted the Indianapolis Colts and Chris Beard. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're inquiring about Zach Moss. They just gave Jonathan Taylor that huge money. And I don't know exactly, but it's a couple guys and a couple agents told me that Howie's making a lot of calls on running backs, corners, safeties, maybe some O-line help. But the kid Moss in Indianapolis is somebody that I think he's not, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's his fourth year. I think he went to Memphis. I know the kid's parents. He's a Florida kid. He was supposed to go to Florida State, but something happened and he ended up at Memphis. He played for Norvell, who's there now at FSU. But I voted for the kid actually for All-American when he was at Memphis. So is it yeah. So Zach Moss would be somebody I think would be okay. Okay. A.J. Brown, man, he's just great. Jalen Hurts gets a game ball. Hey, by the way, what was Jalen's completion percentage? 29 to 38. Got to be something like 76% in that game. Had to be somewhere up there, 76, 79. Yeah, something like that. It's fantastic. Devontae Smith gets a game ball. I thought Dallas Goedert deserved one. And I'm going to give Reddick one because he closed the game out. Now, here's my topic. Now, some of you, after what we just said, of course, the guy talking about pandering here, this is where we kind of walk it back a bit. And I kind of talking to Tone about this a little bit. Zach Moss is second in the league in rushing. Am I reading this right? Ray. Zach Moss, I think he might be third or fourth. But Ray, he's out. You just gave a gigantic contract extension to Jonathan Taylor. If you pay him, you play him. His reps will go down incredibly. Do you actually think you're going to pay a guy who you're going to pay a guy to sit him on the bench and not play him in that organization in Indianapolis? You're paying Taylor. Okay? Plus, he's great in pass protection. Zach Moss. Okay? Jalen Hurts is currently on pace for 410 completions, 599, 688, 45-48 passing yards, 28 TDs, and 17 picks. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The number there that is the hurtful number and what will cost you a Super Bowl is the final one, 17 INTs. The 45-48 is great. The 68-4, fabulous. Shit, I see this in Minnesota every year or in Dallas every year. And this is why you don't win the critical games. The 28 touchdowns, dude, I don't care if a guy throws for 22, 23 touchdowns. If he has 5 interceptions or 3 interceptions, you're going to win every game you're in, especially with a guy throwing a 68% completion percentage. This game is about turnovers, not about putting points on the board. How many times do we see these high-scoring teams like Miami, and they get into those critical games against teams that know how to run the ball and know how to do all the things it takes to win, and they get shut down and shut out? Miami is a classic example of a finesse team. Do you know why Cincinnati's getting better? They're running the ball better. Joe Burrow doesn't need 175 yards rushing. Joe Burrow needs 100, and he's going to tear people a new one. Okay? Jalen has no help in the run game. You know why? Because DeAndre Swift, every coordinator in the league. Can I tell you what the MO is right now on DeAndre Swift? Guy's a really good player from 20 to 20. Outside of that, that guy has no nose for the end zone. No nose for it. That guy does not get you tough yards. That is not. The guy who gets you the tough yards is the guy hurt. DeAndre Swift concerns me more. That's why they were lining him up wide yesterday and putting him into pass coverage. Because, hey, and by the way, one other thing, the next time I hear a guy say, we should be saving this guy, saving him for what? You're still in the race for home field advantage. This whole thing could change in 3 weeks again if you sustain a significant injury. Look what the injuries are doing to the league now. Dude, the sniffles had an impact in Denver. The sniffles. Do you understand right now that Buffalo is right now in position to host the AFC Championship game? Do you understand that? Because of the sniffles. They're in position. Once again, I know some of you think Josh Allen's having another horrible year. But they're in line right now in the AFC to host the AFC title game, along with Baltimore. Do you know Baltimore and Buffalo right now look better than Kansas City? How about this? Giants trade Barkley. What if they trade him to Kansas City? Right? Here are the teams. And now since Lawrence is now a member of Seattle, I got to adjust this. Purdy went from boy wonder to boy I wonder in 3 weeks. That could happen in Philly. Will it? No. No, Jacksonville too. Marina, thank you. Right. Jacksonville too. Look at the teams that look better than Kansas City this year. Remember I told you, I said Kansas City. I at least had you guys go into the NFC Championship game. I said the Kansas City Chiefs aren't going back to the championship game. I don't think they have enough talent. I don't believe Kansas City has enough talent. The Jags look better. By the way, how about all those investments working out on defense? Hey, do you know who the number 1 team in the league is in takeaways on defense? Do you guys have an idea who that is? Do you guys happen to have an idea who the number 1 team in the National Football League is in takeaways? Got an idea? You got it, the Jags. That was heading into last Sunday, yesterday. All those first-round draft choices, Walker, all them dudes, are now panning out. Doug's got a defense. Doug's got an offense. Doug's got a quarterback. That team looks better in Kansas City. Shit, the teams in the AFC right now, Buffalo, not, you know what? Wait. Does Buffalo look like the best team in the AFC? No. Jags, the Ravens, the Bills. Shit, the Bengals are coming back. Here's my teams in the NFC. Here are the upper echelon teams. I think Eagles 7-1. Look at that, man. You got a 1-game lead over. Depends on what happens tonight with Detroit against the Raiders. Here, I got them in order. Eagles, 49ers, Detroit 3rd, Seattle 4th, Dallas 5th, and I guess New Orleans. I'm going to say something to you. I didn't get a chance to get to the topic. We're going to do that here at the top. And I wonder how you're going to take the topic. But I would say this to you. The Eagles may have lost some talent last year, but I think the NFC got worse this year than it did a year ago. The entire NFC East is not what it was. The Niners are stumbling. I think they figure it out. Detroit's better. Dallas is still the Dallas Cowboys of whomever. They're the Jerry Joneses, the Dallas Kardashians. Seattle has gotten better since they dumped Russell Wilson. And then after that, you got a bunch of kind of teams like New Orleans, Tampa. I don't know. It's very encouraging. Yeah, we'll announce our Hooter winners at the top of the second hour here in a second here. And I got a topic for you. I currently don't like the 2023 Eagle offense with all those fancy numbers that Tone threw at me. I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. Don't forget our great friends at Hooters. 40th anniversary. Please do me a favor. It's Monday Night Football tonight. Go into any one of our locations from Rhode Island all the way down through Jersey, down through King of Prussia. If you don't want to go into any one of the locations, use the app, HootersToGo.com. Tuesdays, buy 10 wings, get 10 boneless. Wing Wednesdays, 1983, all you can eat. NortheastHooters.com. That's NortheastHooters.com. $6, 6 items. Try the fried pickles. Kids eat for free on Saturday. And anytime you roll into any one of the Hooters, do me a favor, tell them Big Sil sent you.
Football and Hooters, the perfect pair.